Each week on this video, we'll give you sneaky waiver wire ads you can pick up heading into week 14, Jeff. This is it. This is normally the fantasy playoff, but because of the extended schedule, we got one more fantasy week to try to get into our playoffs. Are there any running backs out there that we could pick up with all the buys coming up as well?
For the first time ever in sneaky ads, Alan, I'm going to add a prop. I'm going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. I'm not going to go for Adrian Peterson, however, but I am going to go for Rashad Penny, his teammate, who looked like he had a little bit more juice. I know that Peterson got the touchdown, but he's got nothing. I don't think he's got anything left. But this is a good matchup this week for them, so you kind of want to have to pay attention to that. Penny looks like he could be something possibly. Alex Collins had his chance. DJ Dallas, they don't really view him as anything more than a change of pace guy. They brought in Peterson. That's how much they really they like DJ Dallas. I mean, Peterson's clearly got nothing. I mean, he's going to score touchdowns for everybody, but it's going to be averaging 1 yard per carry every carry. So don't fall for Adrian Peterson. Take a chance on Rashad Penny. But again, I don't think you're starting either of them unless you're really, really, truly desperate, like I am in a 16-teamer. Then, in which case, yeah, you go ahead and you fall for that banana in the tailpipe.
But Rashad Penny, he's also a former first-round pick. This is a high pedigree player, just hasn't produced in the NFL, so I like that call. All right, wide receivers. Again, I lost Adam Thielen. A bunch of other wide receivers just haven't produced. Is there anyone out there that we could realistically could pick up and plug right into our lineup in this important week 14?
Well, I was just checking. KJ Osborn is 4% rostered. You know, there was a stretch earlier this season where I think we even mentioned him here, but he was
our first sneaky ad of the year. He was our very first sneaky ad.
Yep. Yeah, and you were looking for the number 3. Well, it turns out the number 3 is kind of hit or miss. But if Thielen's ankle sprain keeps him out in week 14, Osborn steps up in class. Has to be considered a guy that you can use this week. So I like him a little bit. The other guy you and I were talking about is the Falcons' Russell Gage, who is finally getting the usage that we all expected at the beginning of the year. It was bizarre how, they trade away Julio. Then, of course, obviously they have, a lot of Calvin Ridley steps away. And yet Gage was still strangely going not targeted. Well, pay attention. The last couple of weeks, he has been getting those targets. So this is someone now that we can take a chance on again. And he's still pretty widely available.
And in deeper leagues where you have to start 3 wide receivers or sometimes even 4, are you chasing Amon Ra St. Brown? I mean, he looks pretty good out there. He pops off the screen as a credible wide receiver. Would you would you be able to start him in this final week?
Maybe. I mean, it'd have to be a really. I think you would have to be a 3 receiver plus a flex, or maybe even 2 flex leagues to go with it. St. Brown's got 49 catches for 438 yards, just that 1 touchdown. So that's the thing that kind of pushes me away a little bit there. I'm trying to see who.
Put it this way: when you do your value meter, and I know you haven't sorted through it yet, it's early in the week, do you envision him being ranked inside your top 48 wide receivers?
No, I probably picture him more closer to 60 or so. Okay,
so then he's probably not a pickup even in deeper leagues unless you're just skimming the bottom of the barrel. All right, let's go to tight end then. And
by the way, they face Denver at Denver this week. I don't really like that matchup.
Yeah, they can be in a world of hurt, but they may have to pass. So we'll see though. It's someone worth mentioning, but maybe not someone that you're jamming in your lineup proactively or whatever. Right. Tight end position. Is there anything out there this week? I know it's people are fighting, scratching, clawing, but there's quite a few tight ends going on bye. You have Dallas Goedert after the monster game, so that fantasy manager is going to be looking for someone. Who is out there right now that we might be able to do a plug and play?
I was thinking, maybe Evan Engram if he happens to be available, but you're going to have Mike Glennon throwing him the ball, which makes it a little difficult. But he's 29% rostered, I think, on Yahoo, so he's possibly available. Gerald Everett provided lots of comedy for us. That has some value in that stuff. But he was getting targets. Perhaps you could go with him. It's a tough week. I want to see what's happening with the football team. Logan Thomas looks like he might be out for the year, so that could be a bad injury there. But Seals Jones was also hurt. Also, the John Bates, he hasn't been phenomenal, but he did get 4 targets. He is the 24-year-old out of Boise State, 6'6", 260 pounds. So 4 targets if you're desperate. It's something. He caught 3 of them for 42 yards. So keep an eye on John Bates. Again, if you're just totally scraping the bottom of the barrel. All right, Superflex leagues. Is there anybody out there, fantasy managers are always looking for that second quarterback, someone to pad their depth. If you had Daniel Jones as your second quarterback and you
you were starting Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon may not even play this week. So what do you have for us in the Superflex spot?
Oh, pain, nothing but pain, especially because Gardner Minshew's on bye this week. But that's why you keep taking chances, because Gardner Minshew turned himself in a game. And you're like, okay, well, now we can see that there is a possibility of some upside there. I honestly, I still think the Niners should be turning to Trey Lance. I don't know. What are we doing here? Why are you trading up, spending the 3rd overall pick, and then not playing the guy at all? Because of one start at Arizona doesn't make any sense, especially when Jimmy G is just giving away games like he did this past week. I know he had some better other games, but on the same vein, maybe the Broncos should be looking at Drew Lock, although maybe they've had enough looks at Drew Lock. And I think maybe we all have. Davis Mills got back into the game for Houston. Minshew was it though. Experience plus a little bit of upside on a decent enough team. The problem with going like with Glennon or the guy behind the guy in the Giants is you're inheriting that offense.
Yeah, Fromm, right? Jacob Fromm, is that his name?
Right. Yeah, that's right. And it's kind of like when Jared Goff got hurt. You're going. Not only was Tim Boyle not that great in his own right, but he's also inheriting just a hideous offense. And same thing was in Houston. That's why I'm kind of reticent to kind of recommend Davis Mills. There's not good options this week. So I think it's one where you speculate on the high upside guys that don't have the job right now. So you can get the next Taysom Hill. So you can get the next, Trey Lance. I think Trey Lance is kind of the guy I'm going for there. You try to kind of pour over those rosters. Look at the teams that are decent and maybe see if there's some upside there.
Yeah, even someone like Mitch Trubisky in the Buffalo offense should.
Yes, that's a good example. That's actually a really good example.
To see Jeff Erickson's value meter, his weekly rankings, where he takes every player for you and answers your start-sit questions essentially by ranking the players. You could see so for free right now for 10 days. Go to rotowire.com/try.